Can you hear my voice? Dear children, good morning. How are you all doing? Hope you are healthy, safe and happy with your parents at home. My name is Mrs. Suganti. I am here for my class 8 students taking up history from your NCERT textbook Our Past. Before going to the lesson, I like to give you some instructions. Please observe very carefully. View this video many number of times till you understand this lesson. After understanding the lesson, then send your response by typing your name with thumbs up symbol in group. Dear children, in our previous WhatsApp learning session, we discussed about the modern period of history, that is British rule in India. Let us have a short recap on history chapter 1, how, when and where. We'll go to the lesson now. Indian history can be classified into 3 periods: ancient India, medieval India and modern India. This chronology will help aspirants for UPSC, bank and other government exams. Let me look into our first topic, how important are dates. History is about finding out how things were in the past and how things have changed. Previously, history was an account of battles and big events such as the year king was crowned, the year he has married and had a child, the year he fought a particular war or battle, the year he died, the year the next ruler came to power. Now, historians look more towards how people earned their livelihood, what they produced and ate, how cities developed and markets came up, how kingdoms were formed and new ideas spread, and how cultures and society changed. Let us see our next topic, how do we periodize? In 1817, James Mill, a Scottish economist, published a 3-volume book called A History of British India. In this, he divided Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. Mill thought that all Asian societies were at lower level of civilization than Europe. According to his telling, before the British came to India, Hindu and Muslim ruled the country with religious intolerance, caste taboos and superstitious practices. Mill's periodization was widely accepted at the time, but today many historians do not agree with this division of the past into Hindu or Muslim. They point out the number of problems with such a classification. Firstly, not all ancient rulers were Hindus. Not all medieval Indian rulers were Muslims. Many rulers in ancient India belonged to other faiths such as Buddhism, Jainism, etc. Our next topic is what is colonial. People did not have equality, freedom or liberty under British rule. Many historians refer this British period as colonial. Colony means the country which is under another country's domination. In this book, you will read about the way the British came to conquer the country and establish their rule, subjugating local Nawabs and Rajas. What is subjugation in history? Subjugation means bringing under control. When subjugation of one country by another leads to political, economic and cultural changes, we call it the process as colonization. There are several sources which historians use in writing about the last 250 years of Indian history. The British wrote every instruction, plan, policy, decision, agreement and investigation. When this was done, things were properly studied and debated. The British preserved all important documents and letters. They set up record rooms attached to all administrative institutions. In the early years of the 19th century, documents were carefully copied out and beautifully written by calligraphists. Our next topic is what is survey, why were surveys carried out. By the early 19th century, detailed surveys were being carried out to map the entire country. I think you students are very good at surveying. Detailed surveys were done to know the revenue collection, know the quality of soil, topography. Topography means a detailed map of the features of land. It includes mountains, hills, valleys, rivers, roads or lakes, flora, fauna, cropping pattern, etc. In 1782, James Rennell made first map of India. Census operations are also carried out to get the information about caste, religions, and occupations. There were other surveys like botanical, zoological, archaeological, anthropological surveys were carried out. British established control over the economy and society, collected revenue to meet all their expenses, bought the goods they wanted at low prices, produced crops they needed for export. They also brought changes about the values and taste, customs and practices. Our last topic is what official records do not tell. We get a lot of information from these official records, but these are not a true picture. The official records of the British give the viewpoint of British officials what they wanted to preserve. They do not always help us to understand the common people of the country. British adopted the policy of imperialism and they colonized India. India became a British colony. What is imperialism? It is a practice of taking over poorer or weaker countries that have important resources. An example of imperialism was England's practices of colonizing India. Subjugation of a country they have done with the policy of imperialism. Imperialism involves economic and political control over a territory. Colonialism, though both words look similar, but they have totally different meanings. Now, this brings us to the end of the chapter. It's a very small chapter, just an introductory chapter. Now, I have given a small assignment to all. Please complete and submit through a snapshot. Thank you so much and stay safe.